Lil Jeff's brother, Jay Boogie, isn't playing around. Losing your little brother while behind bars is painful, especially when you realize that he was the main reason Lil Jeff got involved in the gang lifestyle.
Can you tell us like who introduced you to the street life?
My brother.
Your older brother, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Lil Jeff's killer was arrested on a gun charge and put in jail, and rumor has it that Jay Boogie couldn't be more grateful. What happens behind prison walls should stay behind those walls, because what happened to Lil Jeff's killer was brutal and shocking. And just days before his prison encounter, Lil Jeff's killer was up in interviews calling out the bloodhound.
I was asking like motherfucker don't be like, you don't be getting death threats and shit? That's why I was asking. And you ain't even get a chance to even ask that shit.
I don't take that shit serious, man. Motherfucker been trying to kill me my whole life, bro. I ain't gonna. You gotta show me for real.
And daring them to do something. Well, he played around and found out. You're not ready for what's been said in these streets, so strap in. Jay Boogie's revenge on brother's killer. Lil Jeff's big brother, Jay Boogie, is causing a lot of tension in Chicago. Just 5 months before his release, he received heartbreaking news. His baby brother had been gunned down in a drill gone wrong. Just 3 months earlier, while he was still locked up, Jay Boogie and Lil Jeff were not on good terms. In a leaked email, Jay Boogie unloads his frustrations and worries about his little brother. Jay Boogie was worried about Lil Jeff's activities in the streets, saying, "I know I'm trying to make it as soon as possible. You know I know he's losing himself. I don't know who he is no more either. He thinks he's bigger than me. I told him it don't feel like I even got a brother out there. His little brother was killed before they could patch things up, and this sounds like a recipe for crashing out. But the real worry is the people on the internet calling for him to slide for Lil Jeff. The internet is a dark place. Strangers urging you to destroy your life for their entertainment. What's bizarre is that if Jay Boogie allows the pressure to get to him and he crashes out sliding for his brother, he won't be the first rapper in Chicago to do something this dumb. One of Chicago's most successful drill rappers who had the world at his feet let internet trolls convince him to crash out. This is none other than Lil Durk. You see, after King Von died, internet trolls were on Durk's case, urging him to get revenge for Von with the popular phrase, slide for Von. At the time, Durk openly said that he wouldn't slide for Von because of the consequence. In his track, Hearing Sirens, Durk raps, "My brother shot dead to violence. I truly think the feds around us, y'all tell me. Slide, then turn around, then have the nerve to clown us. You ain't worried about lawyers. You'd rather talk about Tory and Meg Thee Stallion, like fuck them blogs, not fuck your dog. You niggas turn to cows." However, the slide for Von comments must have got to him. In his DJ Academics interview, he was asked what he thought about the slide for Von comments.
The song, they be like, they be saying slide for Von. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, that song is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more.
Academics wasn't ready for the answer because what Durk said next left him shook. According to Durk, there was a reason why those comments suddenly disappeared.
I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing the comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
I wonder why. We here though. We different in Iraq.
I feel like speaking of parables, I'm trying to like decode it a little bit, but it's.
No, we have nothing to do with nothing. I'm saying that's like me just claiming something I want to.
I feel like you troll right there. Nope.
I never troll him. He got beat up too bad. He got his ass whooped. We had it already.
So you're not condoning more violence.
For what? Everybody you telling me about don't matter.
Like, I feel like
Bloodhound Lil Jeff's big brother, Jay Boogie, is currently caught between a rock and a hard place. You see, just days before he was murked, Lil Jeff asked his homies to slide for him if his ops ever took him out. And the laws of the streets, Jay Boogie had no choice. He had to slide for his brother. But there was one big problem. The guys who murked his brother were once his homeboys. Matter of fact, he didn't have any beef with them. What's even more crazy is that his brother's ops, Trap City, were also confused by the whole situation. They didn't have any beef with Jay Boogie, yet they understood that rules are rules. In a vlog featuring OTF Black and Trap City affiliates, Taro and Rob, OTF Black revealed that he was locked up with Jay Boogie's dad, and that Jay Boogie grew up under the Black Disciples, meaning he was cool with Trap City.
And you know what's crazy? Jay,
Yeah.
You know Jay Boogie, like
Jay
like
Boogie.
under us,
My
it's like shorty. Like, I was in the field with this kid. Like this look to this to Jeff brother. Like, on daily. I don't know how this
And according to Trap City Rob, Jay Boogie was still claiming Trap.
don't play out.
They say he ain't claiming the hood still.
He Trap City.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
like,
how the fuck you gonna do that
bro.
and you over
Saturday night bloodhound. Like you can't.
But we already know Trap City and Drill City was the same shit. Bucky and Wood'er, like that's our family.
At the time, J Boogie was in jail, so when it was revealed that he would be coming home 2 years early and just months after his little brother had been gunned down, everyone was eager to know which side he would align with. Would he join the Bloodhounds, which he had claimed since it was founded, or would he choose his childhood friends? But you know what they say about blood, it's thicker than water. And to prove this, you only have to look at Youngeen Ace, a Jacksonville rapper, whose brother was shot and killed celebrating his birthday. And word on the street is that Julio Fulio's gang, 6 Block, was responsible. What happened over the next 6 years would turn Jacksonville into a war zone.
They followed me at a red light. My blood little brother died.
You got shot 8 times in this, and somehow you're the only one to survive.
In June 2018, on a warm summer evening, Ace was out to celebrate a special occasion. June 5th marked the birthday of his younger brother, Trevon Bullard, known in the streets as 23. Alongside them were close friends Royale Devon Smith Jr. and Jacoby Deshad Groover. The group chose a local.
Yeah. You know, Jay Boogie, like Jay Boogie, unders, that's our shorty. Like, I was in the field with this daddy. Like, this little brother, like, on David. I don't know how this gonna play out.
And according to Trap City Rob, J Boogie was still claiming Trap City.
He claiming the hood still.
But he Trap City.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
from.
That shit just all weird, bro. And you over Saturday night bloodhound. Like you can't.
But we already know Trap City and Drill City was the same shit. Bucky and Wood'er, like that's our family.
At the time, J Boogie was in jail. So when it was revealed that he would be coming home 2 years early and just months after his little brother had been gunned down, everyone was eager to know which side he would align with. Would he join the Bloodhounds, which he had claimed since it was founded, or would he choose his childhood friends? But you know what they say about blood, it's thicker than water. And to prove this, you only have to look at Youngeen Ace, a Jacksonville rapper, whose brother was shot and killed celebrating his birthday. And word on the street is that Julio Fulio's gang, 6 Block, was responsible. What happened over the next 6 years would turn Jacksonville into a war zone.
They followed me at a red light. My blood little brother died on the scene.
And you got shot 8 times in this, and somehow you're the only one to survive.
In June 2018, on a warm summer evening, Ace was out to celebrate a special occasion. June 5th marked the birthday of his younger brother, Trevon Bullard, known in the streets as 23. Alongside them were close friends Royale Devon Smith Jr. and Jacoby Deshad Groover. The group chose a local favorite spot for the birthday dinner. Little did they know that the night would take an unimaginable turn. After the dinner, the 4 young men left the venue, their spirits high and their hearts full of the evening's festivities. They settled into their vehicle, ready to continue their night elsewhere. But as they pulled away, the unexpected horror unfolded in mere moments. A car, seemingly out of nowhere, approached their vehicle. As Ace was about to call his girlfriend on his phone, their ops started letting off shots without warning or provocation.
So I'm calling them. I'm about to call her. Soon as I pull my phone out, I get shot in my hand. See my whole hand. See all this is off, but it grew back.
Youngeen Ace, amidst the chaos, made a split-second decision fueled by instinct and brotherly love. He leaned over in a desperate attempt to shield his brother in the driver's seat, risking his own life in the process.
Well, I tried to like shield my little brother, 23. It was his birthday. Shield my little brother, 23. See, it's his birthday, so I'm shielding him, trying to get him out the car though. I'm pressing like the door, cause the door's locked. So I'm trying to press the unlock button, but they still shooting.
Tragically, his efforts were in vain, and the driver, along with 2 other passengers, succumbed to their injuries. At the hospital, Ace was kicked out because he didn't have insurance, but his troubles continued piling as he found himself in handcuffs. It was discovered that earlier on the day of the shooting, the group had visited a gun shop on University Boulevard. Video evidence from the store led to Ace being charged with a probation violation for firearm involvement. He was charged with violating his probation from a 2017 accessory conviction related to an attempted robbery. His probation terms explicitly prohibited him from firearm possession, and the video of Bullard handling a gun was sufficient for the judge to deny bail. Adding to his torment, Ace was also denied the opportunity to attend his brother's funeral. Tragedy after tragedy fueled Ace's thirst for revenge, and soon he would slide for his brother. And just as his brother was killed celebrating his birthday, Fulio was shot and killed while out celebrating his birthday. What's crazy is that early that day, Ace had posted a now deleted cryptic message that might put him on the cops' radar for Fulio's death. That boy going the same day he came in, the post read. And while Ace hasn't been arrested for Fulio's murder, he's dropping clues every day. Like when seemed to confirm that he paid to have Fulio murked during an appearance on a YouTube show, where he was asked what he had last invested money in.
First. Okay. What's the last thing you invested in?
But J Boogie doesn't have to get here. All he has to do is lay low and focus on his music, but we all know how the streets work. And already J Boogie has picked a side. J Boogie picks a side. When J Boogie came home 3 months after his lil bro's death, he let the whole world know who he was rocking with, because he would go on IG Live doing the usual Bloodhound stuff, snorting drugs on camera with Q50.
50, right? We saw you online, you know, as soon as you got out, you sniffed the perk with Q50 online. Feel.
I'm finna sniff one right now, shit.
Even in his first interview back with DJ UTV, he said that he and Q50 are pretty tight.
Hey, so what's your relationship like with Q50? You know, we saw y'all linked up, you know.
Bleed.
What you think about Q50? That's like Lil Jeff, right-hand man.
What I think about him, what you mean? That's Lil Bleed, black. I love him.
And since Q50 was among those who saw Lil Jeff take his last breath, you already know that they are talking about sliding for Lil Bro. The pressure to slide for Lil Jeff might start mounting, not only from fans on the internet or his fellow Bloodhounds, but also from himself. What most people don't know is that J Boogie might secretly blame himself for his Lil Bro's death, and the reason will shock you. On the DJ UTV interview, J Boogie revealed that he jumped off the porch at 13.
Can you tell us around what age did you jump off the porch?
Hold up, but out here though, probably like 13, some shit like that. 13, 14, regular age, motherfucker.
And what's sad is that he introduced his Lil Bro to the street life.
So around what age did you jump off the porch and start hanging out in the streets?
I'm gonna say when I came outside for real, I was like 18 at the time.
So can you tell us like who introduced you to the street life?
My brother.
Your older brother, right?
Yeah.
And in no time, Jeff was hanging out with Vert and Q50, who are all drug addicts at this point. Q50 even took to Instagram to brag about how he spends more than $500 on perks every day, while Vert revealed in an interview that he spends around $400 on drugs.
But I'm spending like probably $400 a day, literally.
Vert is so far gone that he's often high and fast asleep during some of his interviews. Even Jeff's alleged killer took to Instagram to roast the Bloodhounds for being junkies, saying, "Why would I want to hang out with Vert? That's a shorty and a goofy. I'm from Trap City, not 79th, not Bloodhound. Fuck am I doing hanging with you and perk sniffing crude dumbass little boy." And now, there's even rumor that the day Jeff died, they were all high on something. From Lil Jeff having a false sense of bravado to Q50 tripping and falling like a clown, everything went wrong for them from the start. On June 8th, 2024, cameras would capture a series of events that would prove that Jeff and his crew might have been high during the drill. In the early hours of June 9th, popular journalist Kyle Madza broke the sad news on his X account saying, "Unidentified male victim shot and killed in Chicago, Illinois on June 8th, 2024. Spot News reports that the victim killed is Chicago rapper Bloodhound Lil Jeff. His post detailed the harrowing incident, stating, "At approximately 5:14 p.m. Saturday afternoon on the 6,600 block of S. Rhodes Avenue, a male victim, John Doe, was near the sidewalk when he was struck in the chest by gunfire." The report further explained what followed. The victim was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. There are no suspects in custody. A large number of shell casings were located at the crime scene. And it wasn't long before CCTV footage of the incident found its way onto the internet. The minute-by-minute chain of events was wild. The surveillance footage from the 6,600 block of S. Rhodes Avenue captured a group of individuals near a house and several parked cars. Among them were Lil Jeff's homies, the ones in the black car, the person dressed all in black, another in red, who was later identified as Q50, and one wearing a white hoodie. Meanwhile, a man in yellow shorts was seen attempting to get into a car when Lil Jeff spotted him. In the footage, the door of the black car opens. It's Lil Jeff. Without hesitation, he begins chasing the man in yellow shorts. However, his figure quickly disappears from view, obscured by a large pillar of the house. While Lil Jeff pursued the target, his homies did not follow. Instead, they turned their attention to a gray car, opening fire. Lil Jeff managed to hit the man in yellow shorts once in the chest, but before he could press further, 2 other individuals suddenly emerged from an alley and returned fire. His body was sent flying back onto the ground at the foot of the porch, and as Lil Jeff lay on the pavement, the shooters finished the job. Reports say they emptied an entire magazine into him from above, making sure there was no coming back. Q50 and the other shooter fired back, but it was already over. There was no saving him. And just like that, the crew abandoned him, hopping back in the car and speeding off, leaving Jeff behind in a pool of blood. As the video ends, scanner reports confirmed that a victim who had been shot 15 times was transported to the hospital by his homies. CCTV footage actually showed Lil Jeff's carrying their homie from the porch where he had been shot up. Despite their efforts, Lil Jeff was pronounced dead upon arrival. By the time authorities arrived, the scene was littered with evidence. 58 shell casings scattered across the pavement. Meanwhile, the man in yellow shorts, also wounded, arrived at the hospital with his own crew, suffering from a gunshot wound to the chest. Unlike Lil Jeff, he survived. This was none other than Trap City Rob. He had come face to face with the Reaper and lived to tell the tale. And he had a message for the Bloodhounds who were now sending him death threats. He was ready for them.
Asking like motherfucker don't be like, you don't be getting death threats and shit. That's why I was asking. If you ain't even get a chance to even ask that shit.
I don't take that shit serious, man. Motherfucker been trying to kill me my whole life, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. You gotta show me for real with that shit.
The Bloodhounds had been taking L's for some time now. Just 1 month after Lil Jeff was gunned down, another one of their top rappers and shooters also met his death. On June 7th, tragedy struck in the Chatham neighborhood at the intersection of 89th Place and Langley Avenue. At around 11:50 p.m., Assyrian Hogan, alias Lil Scoom, and his 16-year-old friend Lil Will got into a heated argument with another individual. Words turned into threats, and in the blink of an eye, gunfire erupted. When the smoke cleared, Scoom was down. His friend was wounded but survived. Paramedics rushed Scoom to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but the damage was done. He didn't make it. Meanwhile, police spotted a suspect fleeing the scene and a foot chase ensued. Shots were fired at officers, leading to a massive emergency response. CPD, SWAT, and multiple districts were called in, but in the chaos, the gunman managed to escape. Lil Scoom's label issued a statement saying, "It is with great sadness that we share the loss of our artist, Lil Scoom. A true creative, Scoom's passion for music was evident in the near-constant flow of songs and videos to his fans. His immense talent, ambitious vision, and quiet determination made him a one-of-one and an inspiration to so many. We will miss him dearly. Our thoughts are with his family." However, days later, the true story about Lil Scoom's death would come out, and it was one of the craziest stories of backdooring in the Chicago gang war because it was all documented and leaked on the internet. It turns out, he was set up by a girl called Nene Brooks. People were even posting alleged DMs with her showing her admitting to backdooring the Bloodhound rapper. And you already know Lil Scoom's affiliates were onto her. Vaughnoff 1700 called the girl and threatened her saying, "I just called Nene, talking about, I don't know why you calling my phone. Bitch, we killing you, that's why." Word on the street is that Lil Scoom was going to get his hair braided at his girlfriend's house where the alleged backstabber was camping at. The girl who was doing Scoom's hair is called Journey, and it was at her crib. In one of the leaked DMs, one of the alleged shooters asks Nene where she's at and if Scoom is at the house. The alleged shooter also tells Nene, "Don't let nobody know you texting me." Nene not only dropped Scoom's location, she was also updating his ops on his every move. Lil Will, Journey, and Nene walking up to the house. Nene walks slowly behind everyone and is busy on her phone with people speculating that she was busy colluding with Scoom's ops. At first, after the footage was leaked, everyone thought that it was Journey who had done her boyfriend dirty. She appeared too nervous and didn't even have the keys to her own house.
I told you I don't have no key. I take this all the time, bro. I don't have no key. Like, you saw?
According to Trench's News, Journey was the Black Widow. In fact, she already had a deceased boyfriend. Lil Scoom's girl would later go on DJ UTV and reveal that Nene had actually backdoored her boyfriend.
Lil Scoom was backdoored, it's clear as day. Everybody want to talk about this girl, Nene, and that Nene was on her phone and all that. That's cool now. Y'all saying that Nene, that's cool. But let's talk about Journey. Let's talk about Journey White. Let's talk about this Journey girl. This girl is a black widow. She already got a boyfriend. That's D.O.
With this kind of evidence, Scoom's affiliates were already tracking her with Vaughn of 1700, posting her locations and her number. They started trolling her and making obituary flyers and using her photo. All the death threats started to get serious, and now it was time to dip. Turns out her folks wanted her out of Chicago immediately. A few hours later,
Lil Scoom was backdoored. It's clear as day. Everybody want to talk about this girl, Nene, and that Nene was on her phone and all that. That's cool now. Y'all saying that Nene, that's cool. But let's talk about Journey. Let's talk about Journey White. Let's talk about this Journey girl. This girl is a black widow. She already got a boyfriend. That's D.O.
She was on a flight out of Chicago, which she posted saying, never coming back. According to Scoom's girl, while she was attending to the rapper's hair, Nene went to the bathroom and locked the door where she was supposedly still coordinating with the shooter. Time passed and Journey was getting worried, so she texted Nene asking if she was alright. Nene replied saying that she just didn't feel like talking. The whole time she was there doing the unthinkable. And as Scoom and Lil Will were leaving the crib, the shooters were waiting for them, ready to snatch Lil Scoom's soul. And it was only a matter of time before the Bloodhounds would get their revenge for their two top rappers, and they were thirsty for blood. Get back for Lil Jeff and Lil Scoom. Others have not been so lucky because not only did they slide on them, they made sure that they went after innocent family members at a funeral to strike fear into the hearts of their enemy. They were out for blood, and it wasn't long before they found their next target, Trapsody Carter. On October 20th, 2024, news outlets reported that a man had tragically lost his life in Chicago. The previous night had seen shots being left off in the city's Oakland neighborhood. By the time it was all over, a man lay bleeding on the pavement, his life slipping away with every passing second. It happened around 8:41 p.m. on South Ellis Avenue, a block that, like so many others in the city, had seen its fair share of violence. Witnesses told police that two men had approached. Their target, guns drawn, and fired without hesitation. The 32-year-old victim never had a chance. Within moments, the shooters had jumped into a white vehicle and disappeared into the night. Paramedics arrived quickly, rushing the victim to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but the damage was done. The victims had sustained multiple gunshot wounds to the chest and had lost too much blood. Despite the best efforts of the doctors, he was pronounced dead shortly after arriving. The medical examiner identified him as Chevelle Carter. Lil Jeff's affiliates couldn't hide their excitement over his death. They hopped on social media where, just like Lil Jeff, posted cryptic messages that hinted at Carter's murder being get back for Lil Jeff's death. They wanted everyone to know that they had just murked one of their biggest ops. Q50, one of Lil Jeff's closest affiliates, took to Instagram, where he posted 3 blunts and a message implying that he was done sliding because he had avenged his homies' deaths. Lil Scoom and Lil Jeef Boolin feet kicked up Now I Can Get Rich. I love and miss y'all. He also captioned it, P.S. It ain't over. And true to his words, retribution for Lil Jeff's death wasn't over, because it was about to get a whole lot messier, because just a few days later, another person would lose their lives in the gang war. This time, the victim had nothing to do with the streets. On November 2nd, what was supposed to be Trapsody Carter's sending off turned into yet another tragic incident in Chicago. News outlets reported a woman was shot and killed while taking part in a funeral procession for her brother in South Suburban Dixmoor. She had come to say her final goodbyes, to grieve with family, to honor the life of someone she had loved. Instead, she lost her own. At exactly 12:01 p.m., Dixmoor police were called to the scene at 147th Street and Sealy Avenue, where a white Jaguar SUV had crashed into a house. But the real tragedy wasn't the crash itself. It was what officers found inside the vehicle. Behind the wheel was a 34-year-old woman, her body slumped, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. She had been driving in the funeral procession, making her way from St. Mark's Church in Harvey when the shots rang out. The same streets that had carried her brother's final journey had now become the site of her own. Paramedics rushed her to UChicago Medicine Ingalls Memorial Hospital in Harvey, fighting to keep her alive, but the damage was too severe. She was pronounced dead soon after arrival. Later, authorities identified her as Romisha Turner of Calumet Park. She was Trapsody Carter's sister. For Lil Jeff's affiliates, there was no line they couldn't cross trying to get revenge for their homie, whether it's shooting up a funeral or murdering an innocent family member of an already dead op. The gangsters in Chicago were taking things to a new low. But hey, Get Back isn't new in the streets, especially the streets of Chicago. And who is best known for Get Back other than Lil Durk? The OTF head honcho is relentless. And what's even more scary about him is that, unlike Lil Jeff, he doesn't slide on his ops the old school way. Instead, he pays his assassin. Everyone knows about the Quando Rondo murder for hire plot. What most people might not know is that this might not be the first time Durkio had paid assassins to do his dirty jobs. Because when his brother D Thang was killed on June 7th, 2021, he already knew who was responsible responsible, and he wasn't about to let them walk away. On a Sunday morning, outside a strip club in South Suburban Harvard, shots were fired, and D. Thang was shot in the head. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Word spread that a dude named Stefan Mack was responsible for D. Thang's death, and soon word spread that Durkio had put a price on his head. 1 year later, on January 7, 2022, Mack's ops tracked and gunned him down at the Youth Peace Center of Roseland, located at 420 West 111th Street in Chicago. 2 years later, on December 4, 2023, two men, Preston Powell, alias J.B. Marley, and Anthony Montgomery Wilson, alias AJ, were charged in a murder-for-hire plot in connection to Mack's death. While AJ is in custody, J.B. Marley remains a fugitive, with law enforcement agencies actively seeking his arrest and a $10,000 reward for any info that will lead to his arrest. The story gets even crazier, with Reddit forums pointing out that AJ was at Lil Durk's Aha music video shoot, the same video that he dropped less than a month after Mack was killed. And it seems someone is already truth-telling because cops have already pinned the murder for hire on Durkio. According to newly unsealed court documents, the feds believe Mack's murder was revenge for the death of Lil Durk's brother. The court documents also reveal that a federal informant told cops that Lil Durk was and still is offering money for people to kill those responsible for his brother's murder, and more specifically, offering to pay money for any gangster disciple that is killed. The evidence against Durk continues to pile because now the feds have text messages between AJ and J.B. Marley, where the two appeared to discuss getting paid by Durkio. In one of the most damning texts, AJ asks, "Did Durk give you that money?" Although everyone wishes that the cycle of violence stops, only time will tell whether J Boogie will follow in Lil Durk's footsteps and catch his brother's killer lack. Meanwhile, if you enjoyed that video, click on the boxes playing on your screen to watch similar content.